Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. And today's is so good because you see the focus of the show is reflecting on the journey so far. Because here we find ourselves at the beginning of the last week of November. And we've been working on a project this month. Yeah, we've been trying to achieve 3 goals. We set them out at the very beginning of the month. And now we've been stepping toward them, right? We've been taking those strides. We've been making those small steps, those big steps. We've been looking at where we're at. We've been learning from our missteps, and we've been trying to do a little better. And so here we are. And wow, just a few more days left. I want you to keep this in mind, today's inspiring quote, because it is so good. Look back in gratitude, look forward in hope, and look around in awareness. Oh, what that says to me is, let's be cognizant of, let's see the value of every part of our journey. Looking back, seeing where we've come from and how God has blessed us, how He's helped us to move through. Looking forward in hope, knowing that, hey, bigger and better is still to come. And looking around right now, in the present, with awareness that this is where it happens. This is where everything strengthens. This is where everything gets better. This is where I learn the lesson. This is where I'm able to partner with the Holy Spirit and move forward because we have now the present to do that. And so let's see the value of every part of our journey today. Looking back in gratitude, looking forward in hope, and looking around in awareness. Seeing that God is up to something. I don't know about you, but that excites me because I know He is doing something big in my life. Then it might not feel that big to me right now, but the more I reflect and look back and see how much He's done in my life, I know that, yes, He's doing something huge in my life. And I want to partner with Him to make that happen. So I wonder if maybe you're kind of at that state where you can reflect back a little bit. And you can look at what God's done in your life just over the past few weeks, just during this month of November, or just during this last half of the year. I'd love to hear about your victories. I want to celebrate with you. I'd love to hear about how far God has brought you, how faithful you see that He is, and how you plan to keep moving forward, not just in the present, but even in the future. So, I want to hear from you. Text me, 256-967-0885. I would love to hear from you. Or if email is your thing, it's Steven with a V at 885jfm.com. Or hey, you want to talk? I'm all ears, 256-505-0885. 3 ways to get in touch, so I hope that you will. I know that this week is a little different because we got Thanksgiving coming up, so we are going to be thankful. We're going to spend a lot of time on thankfulness this week, and I think it's only fitting because this time of the year, we need to really rest in that spot because there's something about that thankfulness that helps us to move forward with a smile on our face. So, hey, I look forward to hearing from you. And now I want to get you back to the music that you love. It's I with Luna with Right on Time.
Right now, want that mountain to move. Right now, want the ocean to part. Right now, God, I'm looking for you, and I'm wondering where you are.
88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
How's it going, Chris?
Doing good. I just had when you were talking about God and seeing the big picture.
Yeah.
I here a while back, that I was given a picture of a keyhole in a door.
Yeah.
And how, the further away, when you're back away from it, all you can see is the keyhole. Maybe a little light coming through the keyhole, but you really can't see anything. But the closer you get to the keyhole, the bigger the picture gets.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And so, that's how God is. The further we are away from Him, the blessing or the whatever might seem real small.
Yeah.
When we're looking at it from a distance. But the closer we get to it, just like the keyhole, the more of the picture we can see.
Ooh, I like that.
So I thought I'd pass that along to you this morning. That's what I was thinking about when you were talking about that this morning. I thought, man, that's the keyhole thing.
Yeah.
The closer you get to the blessing, the more of it you can see.
Yeah. Hey, can you give me an example of how you've seen that play out in your life?
Yes. Like with my mother, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And over a long period of time, you don't really see your parents as a blessing. A lot of times when you're younger, you see them as a burden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think in all the discipline and school really is the same way. You don't really see that, or I didn't, as a blessing until I got closer enough to it to see how blessed I really was to have it.
Mm-hmm.
That's two that just right off the top of my head was school and my parents.
Yeah.
Being, my parents were kind of hardcore disciplinary, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, I got
They
you.
were like, and I didn't like that at the time.
Yeah, I don't know who does, right?
yeah. So, and probably if I had a little more time, I'm sure there's lots of other ones I could think of. That was the first two that came to my mind right off the top of my head. But though was blessings I didn't see when I had them. You know what I mean? I had to get a little older and a little more mature.
Yeah. That's good.
Blessings of like people coming into my life. You know what I mean? Like and somebody coming into my life blessing me.
Right.
For a minute or two, and then you don't. And then they're gone, and you don't see the blessing. But then, the closer you get to it, and the more of it you see.
Yeah.
And you realize, man, God put them in my life, and He did it for a reason.
That's right.
And now I'm seeing the reason. So,
Oh, man, that's encouraging. Thank you for sharing.
yes, thank you for everything you do. Y'all have a blessed day, and have a good Thanksgiving.
All right, you too, Chris.
All right, see ya.
See ya. That was so cool. I asked you to let me know. We were talking about how we are seeing where we're at right now, and we're able to see the value in it. And we're able to look at our past and see the value there, and the future and see the value there. And I love that idea that the further away you are from something, sure, you can see it, but you can't see it in all of its detail until you get right up on it. And then even then sometimes you miss some of the beauty of it. It isn't until after that you really feel the value of it. I love that, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think we all needed to hear that. You see what just happened? His testimony, his story has encouraged us in our faith. And guess what? You have that same power with your story to share it with somebody today, to help them to understand, to help them to get through what they're going through. And we can all do this life a little bit better if we do it together. So thank you so much for being a part of this family right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Wow, that's good stuff. I love it. Okay, so I just heard from a good friend of ours. Oh, man, I'm telling you, God is up to something huge in Bradley Williams' family. You remember a while back we were talking a little bit about their journey, how they're wanting to have another child. They're wanting to grow their family. Well, the process has started. Everything is looking great. Everything is going smoothly, and I'm so happy to get that update. So, Bradley, thank you so much for reaching out and letting me know about y'all's blessing. Now, I got some Brandon Lake here with Hard Fought Hallelujah, because sometimes it is a struggle, but my goodness, there's a blessing in the middle of it. I hope you enjoy this song.
Yeah, I don't always feel it. Yeah, but that's when I need it the most. So I'm gonna keep on singing till my soul catches up with my song.
47 degrees right now in Scottsboro, but it just so happens at Boaz, they are, kissing that 50-degree mark. It's 52 right here in Gunnersville, 54 in Arab, and 57 already over in Huntsville. Now let's talk a little bit about your word of life, because, hey, it's good. From Matthew 5, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible, God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. Oh, that's good stuff. Why don't you share that word of life with somebody and tell them what it means to you? Yeah, we've got it ready for you across all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always right there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. All right, hey, let's get you back to the music that you know and love. I got some Stephen Curtis Chapman here with Do It Again, and it's so good. So turn it up and enjoy.
Something I've been thinking a lot about lately. I think about it every morning when the sun comes up.
There's a little band from just down the road in Hartselle, Alabama. They've been around for a little while. Actually, they grew up in Hartselle, and they've hit it big. And they've got their own TV series. They're on the charts in Christian music. It's amazing to see this brother and two sisters and how their tight family harmony is just on display for the world to see. And I'm loving it. But you see, I knew a little bit about that family before the kids got big. Yeah, because, well, there's this guy. His name is Charlie Kane. That's their dad, by the way. I'm talking about Kane, by the way. That's their last name. Well, Charlie Kane is their dad, and he has been a part of Christian music for a long time. I remember when I was a kid, him and David Vest, they'd get together, group up with a bunch of other band members, come around, and they'd tour, and it was a lot of fun. It was like Christian rock. Well, I got a little something that I found out over the weekend. It was just posted 10 hours ago by Charlie himself, and he wanted to say this. So it's a little bit of a change for the family, but you know what? I think it could be a good thing. So here, take a listen. Today, a chapter was closed in our lives that will forever hold the most special place in our hearts. After serving for over 40 years in ministry, we held our farewell service at World Harvest Outreach, surrounded by the most amazing group of friends and family. It was unbelievably difficult and sad to say goodbye to some of the most dear friends we have ever known. So many beautiful memories have been made in this town and in this church. We have seen God's hand at work, saving, healing, and delivering in miraculous ways. Our children grew up here and committed their lives to Jesus here. Our family found community in the presence of God here. We have known His faithfulness here through every season of life, through every high and low. So leaving feels almost heartbreaking, and yet we're excited to take a leap of faith by moving to Tennessee, where we feel certain that God has more to write in our story. We are saying yes to whatever He has for us. We will be closer to our children and grandchildren, which is a dream come true. We will continue to share His love and goodness wherever He leads. Thank you to all who have come through the doors these past 40 years. Our hearts truly are forever knit to yours. The big red heart, Charlie Kane. And I thought, you know what? We need to hear some music from Charlie. It's been a while since I played any of his stuff. So how about War Cry? That's what you're hearing in the background as he gets ready to start singing, but my goodness.
The Lord is my strength. The Lord is my shield. Of whom shall I be afraid? The Lord is my strength. The Lord is my shield. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the enemy marches against me, like a flood on His standard He's raised. The glory of His presence will lead us as we lift up our anthem of praise. We are clothed in His armor, powered by His might, the sword of His word in our hand.
No, don't get me wrong. I know sometimes you really like pushing buttons, and you know how to push those buttons. You know how to get under people's skin. But when you can bring peace, that's a game changer. Yeah, anybody can bring some chaos, but bringing the peace. You know what I mean? Oh, and all you parents with kids out this week, yeah, you might be experiencing that one, because those kids, they know how to push those buttons. But kids, remember, be peacemakers in that house, especially during this Thanksgiving break. Oh, that word of life is all across our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and TikTok. And it's always right there at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. All right, more great music headed your way. I'm getting geared up for a car line competition with no car line coming up next.
When your week feels like a beat down, and you can't tell the night from day.
Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn. All right, now let's go ahead and crank that engine. There we go. And now let's start that music so I can say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the Carline competition. Your chance to win some gift cards this morning. It's a trivia game. I'm going to give you a question in the queue to call. You're going to call me up and give me the right answer. And when you do, you're not going to win 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. No, you're going to win 6 gift cards this morning because Charlotte got the train started last week. That means that you got the opportunity to bless a bunch of people this morning. So, you ready to start off? You ready to have some fun? I know we don't really have any kids in the car line headed to school this morning, but you know what? We can still have some fun. So let's do this thing. Now, a Bible trivia question for you. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and what? Is it A, patience, B, love, C, faith, or D, trust? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. There's my caller. Stay right there on the phone line with me while I start this little project we started on actually a couple weeks ago. Had some Marshall Christian Academy kids come in and tell me what they're thankful for. And here is one of them that you haven't heard yet.
I'm Paxton Turner, and I am thankful for my house because it has a lot of room and it is enough for my brother and the rest of my family to run around in.
You like running around in there, huh?
Yeah.
All right, does it keep you dry?
It does.
Good. Does it keep you warm when it's cold outside and
Yes.
cool when it's hot outside?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so it sounds like you might like that family that's around you too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, thank you so much, Paxton.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going, Richard?
Doing fine.
I'm glad to
Wake
hear it.
up.
Yeah, waking up. Yeah, this is the week of Thanksgiving, man. Any big plans for Thanksgiving Day? Y'all doing a turkey or ham or having a get-together? What's going on?
Yeah, we're going to have a get-together. We're going to have turkey, ham, all kind of food.
Oh, very cool, man. I'm glad to hear it. All right.
There's a church up here blessed us with a turkey, you know.
Oh, man. That's cool.
It's High Point Church.
Yeah.
We didn't ask them. They just brought it to us and gave it. That's a whole box of food for Thanksgiving.
That is so cool, man. I love when churches are just that. They're the hands and feet of Jesus in the community, just sharing some love in some really practical ways. That's a pretty big deal. All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, let's have some fun. I got 6 gift cards on the line right here, and you could be taking them home. Here's the question I have for you. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and what? Is it patience, love, faith, or trust?
What I say, love?
Love? Love is always good to have, but in this particular verse, it's not what I'm looking for. So is it patience, faith, or trust?
Patience?
Patience is correct. Congratulations, sir. You just won 6 gift cards. What do you think about that?
I like it. I'll probably cash them out and go around.
All right, man, let's do it. Yeah, you think of some people to give those gift cards to, huh?
Yes, sir. I may just go out and pass them out to random people.
Very cool.
But somebody else with them.
Yeah. Well, can you tell me about 2 people in your life that really mean a lot to you today, Richard?
Well, my kids are one, Jeremiah and Nehemiah.
Hey, how are they doing? Are they feeling better?
They're a little bit better, but they still got the little runny nose.
I got you. Yeah, I'm right there with them. I'm still dealing with that myself, so I'm glad they're feeling better now.
I know.
Yeah.
And then my second one, I guess my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, because they're real good people,
Yeah.
and they help us out a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. You got some amazing people around you, Richard. And I think you're a pretty cool guy to boot. So. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will get these 6 gift cards sent your way.
All right, you have a good day.
All right, you too. Hey, you got cattle barn tomorrow, or are y'all taking the week off?
Now, we're off this week.
Cool. Okay. All right, man. Well, enjoy your time off.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Bye.
All right, have a blessed day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And that's how it's done. 6 gift cards out the door. High Point Church stepping up and getting some groceries in the hands of people in the community. I think that is awesome. And I know they're not the only church doing that, but you know, I love hearing stories of how the church is blessing in the community. It's good news and it's worth sharing. So anytime your church is doing something like that, or you need to get the word out about something happening, please reach out to us here at the station. We would love to partner with your church and help get the word out about all that you have to offer. Okay. All right. It's really easy to get in touch with me. It's Stephen with a V at 885jfm.com. All right, now let's hit another music bed here and let's have a little bit more fun, shall we? I've got another question right here. No, not that music bed. Let's get something a little more peppy. How about this? Aha, that feels better. Okay, question number 2 for today's car line competition. You're like, Steven, why are you doing this? There's no car line. I know, but we still like having fun. I love giving stuff away. And actually, I love hearing from you. So let's do this thing again. Here, 3 gift cards up for grabs. And here's your question. How many U.S. states begin with the letter A? Is it A, 4, B, 0, C, 8, or D, 1? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, how many U.S. states begin with the letter A? Is it 4, 0, 8, or 1? Be the first caller with the right answer, and guess what? You could win 3 gift cards. 256-505-0885. That phone line is ready for you. 256-505-0885. Now, casting crowns and start right here, right now on the Lifeline Morning Show.
We want our coffee in the lobby. We watch our worship on the screen.
Having some fun right here on the Lifeline Morning Show with this car line competition. So let's get another jingle going here. And I will tell you, I'll update you as to where we are right now with the car line competition. You see, I had the second question. I got it out there, but I didn't have any answers. So as is customary, I'm going to throw it out there one more time. We're going to give you a 50-50 shot, and you could be bringing home 3 gift cards. Or you could even start the train. We could get this thing rolling. It's up to you, okay? So with that in mind, let's get going on this. Question number 2. With a 50-50 shot. How many U.S. states begin with the letter A? Is it A, 4, or is it C, 8? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, how many states begin with the letter A? Is it 4 or 8? 256-505-0885 is the number to call, and I'm waiting on your call right now. But in the meantime, I think maybe we need to hear this last thankful soundbite. I had some kids come in from Marshall Christian Academy, 3rd and 4th graders. We had an absolute blast. Brought them in here, taught them about radio, and let them get on the mics and put on the headphones, and we had a blast in here, y'all. I'm telling you, it was a lot of fun. And you can hear it through a lot of these little audio clips, these little interviews, these little questions that I asked them. So it's time for us to hear the last one, and there is my caller. Let me go ahead and capture that. Stay right there on the phone line with me while I start this thankful sound clip.
Hi, my name is Rylan. I am in 3rd grade, and I go to Marshall Christian Academy, and I am thankful for family.
Family. Tell me a little bit about your family.
My family is very sweet and loving, and they are always there whenever somebody needs help.
Oh, I think that's lovely. All right. Thank you for that answer.
Word of life, shall we? It's from Matthew chapter 5, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. That's good stuff. I mean, when you are working for peace, when you can come into a situation that is total chaos and bring peace to it, that, I believe, is a superpower. And that is not easy work. So if you do that, my goodness, thank you, because we need more people like you in this world. So many people like just pushing buttons. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, let's see how angry we can get them. No, stop poking the bear. Don't do that. Let's bring some peace. So thank you, peacemakers, for doing what you do. And why don't you share that word of life with somebody? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, we are wrapping up this car line competition this morning, having a blast. And guess what? Every now and then, I still get a first-time caller to the car line competition. And it's so much fun when it happens. So just so happens that this call, well, here, just take a listen. We had some fun on this. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good. Who am I talking to?
Dana.
All right, Dana. I got a question for you, and it's all about this great United States of America. Now, have you lived in the States all your life?
All my life.
All your life. Have you lived in one state or many different states?
A few different states.
Ooh, how many?
Oh, my goodness. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 4, 5.
Goodness. A lot of changes, huh? Now, were your parents in the military or you just moved around a lot?
We just moved around a lot.
I got you. Okay, got a little family here and there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. I love learning more about where people are from. Like for instance, my family, a lot of us came from up in Montana way. So from Montana all the way down to Florida. So we got both corners of the nation covered. We
wow.
somehow ended up in Alabama. So anyway, well, I got a question for you, and it's all about, like I said, these United States. How many states start with the letter A? Is it 4 or 8?
4.
4. You are correct. Can you name them?
I know it's Alaska, Alabama.
Yeah.
My goodness, I can't think, but I know there wasn't 8.
Right. There are 4. You got 4 correct. This one in particular has desert and a whole lot of sunshine. Arizona, yeah.
Arizona.
And another one, they got the Razorback football team.
Oh, I really wasn't expecting you to answer.
I know. Oh, you weren't? Really?
No. I thought, I was just like, let me try this.
And now you're wishing you hadn't because I put you so bad on the spot.
Well, I would have thought about it more if I'd have thought you was going to answer.
It's okay. I can give you this hint. So this last state that begins with the letter A has another state's name in it. Toto, we're not in...
Oh, my goodness. I can't think.
Okay, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Kansas.
And Kansas is a part of another state. It's actually the lettering, the word. Arkansas is the last one.
Arkansas. Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Very cool. I'm so glad you let me put you on the spot like that. Just had some fun. And you just won 3 gift cards. Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, with these gift cards, we want you to keep one and give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. Can you tell me about those 2 people?
Well, my son and my daughter.
Oh,
and they're just awesome.
Cool. What's your son's name?
Noah Ashley.
Noah Ashley. All right. And your daughter?
Leanne Ashley.
Very cool. Now, do they live nearby?
They do.
Nice.
Albertville and Boaz.
Cool. Having them nearby, that's so much easier than having to go out to different states to see your grandkids or to see your kids. It's crazy sometimes, I know. But, wow, having them close by. That's good stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Now, let me grab a little bit of your information here, and I'll get these gift cards sent your way, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. One last question for you. Now that I've put you through the ringer, why do you listen to this radio station, Dana?
It just helps me start my day with being thankful and grateful for all God has done for me.
Oh, well, thank you so much for listening.
Yes.
You're the reason. Welcome. You're the reason why we're here, Dana. I hope you have a great day, and I'll get these gift cards in the mail.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. And that brings us to the end of today's car line competition, but we had a blast. And Dana, a first-time caller, a first-time player, thank you for being brave and calling me this morning. I think we had a blast. And yes, I'm going to get those gift cards in the mail headed your way today. All right. Well, hey, we've got like 2.5 hours of show left. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I hope you will stick around. And we'll have some fun here. And remember, if you have to step away from your radio, you can tune us in online. Just go to 885jfm.com, click the On Now button, press play, and you're good to go. All right. Now, how about some Kane with Caleb and John and Somebody Like Me right here, right now on the Lifeline on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
I'm the child of a loving father. I'm a part of the family.
There are some people with some really big hearts right here in our community, and they're part of organizations that reach out into this community and, touch people with some very practical stuff because, let's face it, times are tough and every little bit helps. So if somebody can help you out with groceries, that is very welcomed, isn't it? Especially this time of year when food is supposed to be on that table for Thanksgiving. Yeah, well, I just heard from a good friend of ours, Miss Mary Ellen, and she had a little info to pass along to all of us. So I just wanted to, just let you hear it.
We got holiday boxes. We have been partnering with the North Alabama Food Bank for a while, and they have given us food boxes to give out to people at our food pantries.
Oh, very cool.
Food pantry at St. William and the one at the Chapel of the Holy Cross.
Nice.
And they are a box that contains a full holiday meal, including a ham. A lot of times we have turkeys. We have not found out whether or not we're going to get a donation from one of the local turkey growers, as it were. And so all we'll have by way of turkeys for this Tuesday coming is whatever's donated by the locals. And we have a few right now, but not very many.
Okay.
But I just wanted to let people know that we do have the holiday boxes, and we will be giving them out this weekend and the continuing weeks until Christmas.
Oh, very nice. All right. So all that usually goes down on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
Very nice. Cool. Well, I'll be sure to announce it tomorrow, the day of, but we're giving everybody just a little hint that they could get a hold of some of these holiday boxes. Now, they need to bring a little bit of information when they come, right?
Of course, the ID,
Yeah.
picture ID, and also a piece of mail that coordinates with the address on the ID.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for all that you do. I'm so thankful that we have churches here in our community that step up and they bring about some really practical things.
If anybody would love to donate a turkey, we'll be available tomorrow at St. William starting at 3 o'clock.
Well, thank you for all the info.
Thank you, Stephen, for what you do. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you. Have a great day.
Great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
A little taste of what's to come. So tomorrow from 4:30 to 5:30 is the normal time there at Mary's house at St. William Catholic Church. Also from 5 to 6 at Chapel of the Holy Cross down in Albertville. Your opportunity to get a hold of a holiday box, and that can really go a long way. So thank you so much for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Your word of life today from Matthew chapter 5, verse 9 in the New Living Translation of the Bible says, God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. I think sometimes we glaze over a particular word in that verse, and it just hit me, and I want to bring it to your attention. Okay, you ready for it? Okay, because I don't think I've ever seen it. I've never recognized it. God blesses those who work for peace. Who work for peace, not just talk about the peace, but they work for peace. That means that they are actively engaged in trying to bring about peace, and that is quite the undertaking. Ooh, but it's worth it. If it weren't, it wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be called children of God for doing it. So why don't you share that word of life with somebody? And you know what? This is one of those just to kind of, mull around all day long and see, hey, how can I do that? How can I work for peace? God will give you some pretty inventive ideas on how to do it. So I can't wait to see what he does through your life when it comes to working for peace and bringing it about right here in our community. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you'll share that with somebody. We've got it for you across all of our socials. Now, Tasha Layton and Chris Brown with Worship Through It. I discovered something over the weekend, and it's like life-changing. I had a chai latte for the first time ever, and oh my, it was delicious. I'm not usually one for like coffees, teas, stuff like that, but this was warm, and my throat was kind of hurting, and it had ginger in it, and it was just, ooh, so good. So anyway, I found out I'm a big fan of chai lattes. I think it had almond milk in it. Yeah, and it was flavored. It was caramel flavored. So, good stuff. Anyway, I'll be ordering that some more. Torrin Wells, take it all back right here, right now.
Fear's got me living with the lights out, chained down like a prisoner in my own house. Shame cycles like a deadly medication. I try, but I can't change my situation.
After all these years, I can't believe how many times I've fought this battle. What if this is something that never goes away from me? I think as Christians, we can feel like we've failed when we have to face the same fight more than once. In actual fact, you haven't failed. We're just not in heaven yet, and we're gonna have to fight through things. Jesus says that many times in the Bible. It's okay if I'm broken. It's okay if I struggle, but I will fight, and I will rise to my feet. And even if it makes me think I'm flawed, I can't do this, I'm a fraud, He's chosen me. He is with me, and He sees all of those things about me, and He still wants to use me.
I love that. Yes, it's true. He does know all that about us, yet He still loves us. He still chooses to use us. And I know it's baffling. It's like, God, do you know how imperfect I am? But He's like, it's okay. I still want to use you. And that's amazing to me. And you know what? So many times we get in our own feels about it. We get in our heads, and it's like, God, why would you use me? You know that I've messed up before, but there's just something about the way that He uses broken vessels to do some amazing stuff. And I don't know, maybe you're the one who needed to hear that this morning. Maybe you're the one who's been second-guessing yourself a little bit. Well, tell you what, if you've been second guessing, why don't you have a conversation with your father? Don't think that you have to hide away from him because you feel like you've messed up so bad. You see, the Bible says there's therefore now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, right? Who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has set us free from the law of sin and death. That's a pretty big deal. And so we don't have to run away from God. Instead, we can run to God and talk with him about the situation. So I want to encourage you to do that today. Maybe you've been feeling like, I just can't do it. I'm so unclean. You know what? We all happen to be that way from time to time, but he has a way of cleaning us up. And he can do that for you as well. And I bet you that what you're dealing with, wow, it's not going to turn out to be half as bad as you think it is, because so many times the enemy gets in our heads and makes us think that we're just damaged goods, but that is not the case. God chooses to use us to further his kingdom and to see his will established on this earth, and he does some amazing stuff to us. So if that's you, I want you to be encouraged today. And for those of you who've never been through that, oh my goodness, wow, I'm going to tell you something. You might think it'll never happen, where you feel like you've messed up so bad, and maybe it won't, but in the event that it does, just remember, his mercy is there. His grace is there. Is it a license to do wrong? No, not at all. But it is a lifeline. It's a rescue for if it ever happens. And I'm thankful for that. Now, with Ledger, she is an amazing drummer, and she's gone viral over on Skillet's TikTok for some video showing her doing her thing. And let me tell you, she is amazing. I'm a drummer, and she wows me. But she's been doing her own stuff as well. She's got her own band, so she does that on the side. It's called Ledger, the band. And just so happens they have a song out. Now, I thought, hey, let's play it for you. So it's called My Arms, and it's right here, right now, on the Lifeline Morning Show. I hope you enjoy it. And what a testimony she has.
When did the skies over your heart become your hiding place?
Well, I just got off the phone with a good friend of ours, the Right Reverend Larry Walls. They had their love feast at church yesterday. He pastors over at Corbinville Methodist Church, and he said it was amazing. Had 30-something people there. Some of the people had never had the love feast before, never even heard the story. And he shared that with us on the radio here, a couple weeks ago. So had the cider, the sweetbreads, and was able to go around, and it was just, I know it was an amazing time. So he was telling me about that and everything going on this time of the year. Everything can get a little hectic, We can kind of get ahead of ourselves. We can put a little too much in it, and by the time we've realized it, well, it's caught up to us and we can't move. There's so much doing. For instance, the Christmas decorating. I'll tell you this, over the weekend, we didn't find out until like the night before that my daughter had basketball practice. So when time came on Saturday from 11 to 12, I'm like, Cassie, if you would, you go ahead and take her. I'm going to stay here at the house. I was still kind of getting over this cold or upper respiratory infection, whatever. So I was there at the house, and I thought, well, you know what I'll do? I'm feeling a little better. I think I'm going to go and get the Christmas tree out of the closet. And I did. I did it by myself. I got it into the living room, got it all undone, got it set up, and this is a pre-lit tree, but we've had it for years, so the lights don't work anymore. So we have other lights that I wrap around it. So I was able to get it lit before she walked in the door, and she was totally amazed. She's so surprised because she loves Christmas trees and all the decorating that goes along with it. So she was a happy camper when she got home. But the cool thing that I remember Pastor Larry was talking with me about was how they started off their service. He got the sound guy to play a particular song that he didn't even know existed until he heard it right here on the radio. And I'm going to play it for you right now. It's from Matthew West. It's called Gobble Gobble. He said his people loved this song, and some of them even got a hold of that song and played it for their family after church. It was pretty cool. So
there are so many songs about Christmas, the reindeer, the lights, and the gifts. We sing chestnuts are roasting and marshmallows toasting, and here comes old jolly Saint Nick. Now don't get me wrong, I sure love all those songs, but one holiday gets left out. You see, no one remembers a song for November, but that's gonna change starting now. Gobble, gobble one, gobble, gobble two, gobble, gobble me, gobble, gobble you. Listen to me now.
Well, at least everybody's in the 50s right now. Even Scottsboro's up to 53. It's 58 right now in Albertville. Ooh, 58 in Blunsville, 59 right now in Coleman. And it just so happens that Huntsville is, well, you know, oh, yes, kissing that 60-degree mark. So we have kissed the 50s. Now we have kissed the 60s. Will we indeed kiss the 70s before the end of the show? Well, we'll find out, but I'll take what I can get. So thanks for hanging out with me. Here we are reflecting on the journey so far. What do I mean? Well, you see, we've been working on some goals this month, right? We started at the beginning, and now here we are at the beginning of the last week of the month. And how are your goals coming? Are you getting closer to them? Yeah? Have you been making strides in some areas? Have you seen maybe some places where you kind of misstepped a little bit and you learned from that, and now you picked up and you've kept moving forward? I sure hope so, because we've been about this all month long. I know it's been very focused, but I think it's important for us to be strategic, for us to be, I guess, intentional about how we move forward. So with that in mind, I wanted to give you some practical tips on how to, well, complete this final stretch in the month of November. All right? So these are just some actionable pieces of advice on how you can make the most of this last week. So review and refine. Look at what's worked so far and what hasn't. Then adjust your approach. You know, so many times we keep trying to do the same thing and get a different result. Last I heard, that was the definition of insanity. So we have to adjust things. So I know it's painful sometimes, but it's worth it. So let's go ahead and adjust that approach. Then let's break it down. Simplify your remaining goals into smaller, actionable steps. You know what needs to be done, but how are you going to get there? Maybe it's such a big step that it's kind of overwhelming you and you don't even want to try. Break it down into much smaller, bite-sized chunks that you can get to little by little. And then guess what? You'll still get there. Maybe not as fast as you would have liked, but you'll get there with a smile on your face. And that's a lot to be said about the attitude once you get there, right? Another piece of advice is celebrate progress. So, hey, if you haven't yet, maybe you should write down 3 wins that you've had this month, no matter how small they are. For example, if your goal is to exercise more and you only managed to walk 2 times this month, guess what? That's still progress. Build on that progress this week. It might feel like a total failure, but it's not. You did more than you did before. You made some steps in the right direction, so we need to celebrate that and let it fuel us to keep moving forward. And by the way, we have immense power over everyone around us. We can encourage them. We can support them in their journey to reach their goal as well. So I wanted to remind you of that sometimes just being there for somebody else, it helps give you the motivation that you need. It's almost like a refreshing that happens in our own lives when we help other people and we're there to support them and to help them along. So keep that in mind too, okay? All right. Hey, we are going to hit these goals by the end of the month, and it's coming up soon, but we've got time to make it happen. So keep moving forward. Thanks so much for doing life with me. There's Toby Mac and Nothing Sweeter right here on the Lifeline Morning Show.
There's been so many times I got it so wrong, and a couple that I got it just right.
You know what? With this technology, I'm holding my phone in my hand right now. And with this phone, I can reach out to anybody in the world, anybody on the World Wide Web. My little girl, she's been having some fun. She sees these videos, right? And it'll have a phone number on there. And it'll say, hey, call this number. So we called one of them, and it rickrolled us. Gave us that Rick Astley, never gonna give you up. We got rickrolled. It was hilarious. She found another one. She's like, let's try this one. And I'm glad I didn't try it because I would have been calling Canada. You got to be careful on your phone. Anyway, but I can also track people with my phone. Yeah, like my mom. Actually, I have it set up so that I can see where she's at, just in case she were to lose her phone. But I can always keep tabs on her, right? Yeah, and likely you do that with some people in your life, maybe with your kids, maybe with your parents, or maybe even with your grandparents, because you never know when they might lose their phone. And hey, that's another way that you can help them find their phone is by tracking it on your phone. I got the story of one lady who did just that with her granddad. And it's quite a sweet story, so I hope you'll stick around. We'll have a little fun, and we'll all be super spies for a few minutes after Matthew West and Mercy is a Song right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Stick around.
Mercy is a song singing to my heart, telling me it's okay, come just as you are. I never heard a melody like the one that's singing over me, and I just wanna sing along, 'cause mercy is a song.
Gotta play some spy music here, so let's go ahead and get that going. Oh yeah. Now, I don't know, I feel super sneaky. Yeah, do you ever feel super sneaky when you're tracking your loved one on your phone? I have that Find My Phone feature and Find My People feature on my iPhone. And so I can keep tabs on where people are, especially those people in my life who are apt to lose their phone. It's just an extra way to help them make sure their phone is safe, right? Yeah. But you know what? You likely do that with some people in your life because, I don't know, maybe they're your parents or your grandparents, maybe even your kids need to keep tabs, right? Well, sometimes that super sleuthing can be used for the good. I came across a story of one lady who just happens to track her granddad, and one day she just felt this nudge to kind of check and see where he was. And when she did, she found out that he was, in fact, all by himself. Yeah, eating lunch. And she's like, hey, I need to go, I think I need to go check on him. I need to go see him. So what does that sound like? This.
Hi, Poppy. How are you? I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. What are you looking for?
You?
Just a surprise out of the blue. I love stories like that because, you know, every now and then we just need to show up for no reason. We just need to be there. Why? Well, not because we have any agenda, but just that we want to see our loved one. And it rocks their world. It makes their day. So I just wanted to encourage you, if you have an opportunity to do that this week, in person would be best. That would be ideal. But if not, then on the phone or on FaceTime, just reaching out to family, maybe somebody that you haven't seen or heard from in a while, just to check in on them. Yeah, and see how that turns out for you. I think, well, you'll give somebody something to definitely be thankful for, including yourself. So give it a try. And yeah, use those sleuthing abilities for the good. Here's For King of Country with Joy, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. On your 88.5 JFM, making your day better.
Lately I've been reeling, watching the nightly news. Don't seem to find the rhythm, just wanna sing the blues. Feels like a song that never stops.
If I really want to stump somebody with a trick question, it's this. How many kinds of each animal did Moses take on his ark? Hold on a second. So Moses didn't have an ark. And besides that, when people actually answer how many kinds of each animal Noah took on the ark, well, they say the wrong number too, because they'll say 2. And no, that's not right either, because it's not just 2. No, in fact, I'll tell you the truth. It's not just 2 of every kind. Yep, we're going to get into that. Plus, a little something extra about Noah that I bet you've never thought about. From a little help from a rabbi on this one. So stick around and we'll have some fun, okay? Here's Cody Carnes. Take you at your word. I know some of you are overachievers. You went to your Bible and you're like, how many kinds of each animal did Noah take on his ark? And you found out that it wasn't just 2, didn't you? Now, it was by pairs. Now, that part is correct, but it wasn't just 2 of every kind of animal. No, in fact, if you were to go all the way back into the book, into the Bible, you would find out that, indeed, in Genesis 7:2, it says, take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal. 7 pairs, right? A male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal. Okay? A male and its mate. Okay, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. So we're talking 14 of one and 2 of another. So did you learn something new? I know, we've all been taught it's just 2 of every kind. No, there were a lot of animals on that ark. A lot more than just 2 of every kind in some instances. Besides that, there's another part to the story that I bet you've never really thought about. It's after the flood is over and how it all ties together with the beginning of creation and how man came about in the first place. And to get down to the root of this, I think we need a little help from Rabbi Shais Taub. He's really got a handle on this. I've never heard it explained this way, and I want you to hear it for yourself. So here, take a listen, see what you think about this.
I don't know if this is my favorite story in the Bible, but it explains so much. And that's the story of Noah after the flood. It says that he planted a vineyard and he drank of the wine and he became drunk. So the question is, why was Noah drinking wine as his first project after he survived the flood? There's a very deep explanation which makes it all make sense. And without this, it's sort of perplexing because, like, what's Noah, a frat boy who's like, woohoo, I survived the flood, let's go get a keg and make a party? It doesn't make sense. We're told that Noah is a righteous man. So actually, he did it methodically and he did it for spiritual reasons, and he did it without the knowledge that we have of what actually would happen to him. But you have to understand the context. Noah was 10 generations after Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge. What happened from eating of the tree of knowledge? They gained knowledge. Well, what kind of knowledge? They gained self-knowledge, but not in a positive way, like self-awareness, but crippling self-consciousness, which is why the first symptom of after they ate from the tree of knowledge is they experienced shame. And that's why they covered their nakedness. And God said, who told you to be ashamed? So they gained crippling self-consciousness, a sense of separate selfhood or ego, separate from, apart from the oneness through eating from the tree of knowledge. And since that time, that crippling self-consciousness is the bane of human existence. Now Noah comes along and he wants to remedy it. He sees there was just a flood. It was a total restart on all of creation. Many of the commentaries explain the flood was actually there to cleanse the world, to give it a chance for a new beginning. So Noah tried to seize on that opportunity, and he said, if the problem of humanity since Adam and Eve has been self-consciousness, I will antidote that by erasing, by obliterating self-consciousness. And he made the perfect elixir that obliterates self-consciousness. It's called good old wine, and he drank it. And you know how much he drank? You think he wanted a little buzz? No. He looked back and he said, what happened when Adam and Eve became self-conscious? They became ashamed of their nakedness. If I want to reverse that, how far do I have to go? Well, you see what happened. He was found passed out naked in his tent. His sons found him passed out naked. He drank specifically until he would not be ashamed of his nakedness. What did he think he was doing? He thought he was freeing humanity from crippling self-consciousness, so we could finally be free of ourselves, of our egos. And of course, it went terribly awry. There was a terrible incident that transpired afterwards that caused a rift in Noah's family and all of his descendants that we're still trying to heal from. So we learned the valuable lesson, which in hindsight is 2020. We know better, but in his time, Noah could not have yet known. So it seemed like a good idea at the time, but we learned that the cure for self-consciousness is not self-obliteration. It's self-transcendence, which means spirituality. Or another way of saying it is the antidote to self-consciousness is God consciousness.
Wow, I've never heard it put that way before. Have you? Pretty interesting. Yeah, here's Kane with Friend in Jesus. I'm glad we can learn together right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Well, good morning and welcome to This Day in History, a chance for us to look back on yesteryear to celebrate some milestones, some movers and some shakers that have brought us this far. So what happened on this day in history? Well, let me tell you, we've got some catching up to do because we had a Saturday and a Sunday. So let's get to it, shall we? A few things to talk about here. November 23rd, in 1835, the first machine for manufacturing horseshoes was created by Henry Burden of Troy, New York. Burden went on to make almost all the horseshoes used by the Union Army during the American Civil War. In 1897, on November 23rd, American Andrew J. Beard invents the Jenny coupler, a device to automatically hook railroad cars together by simply allowing them to bump into each other. It remains in use today. In 1936, in the U.S., the first issue of the pictorial magazine Life is published. The cover featured a photo of the Fort Peck Dam by Margaret Bourke White. In 1948, Dr. Frank G. Back of New York City patents the first zoom lens, which eliminated the need for multiple focal length lenses mounted on a turret. So, yeah. The zoom lens, we all have enjoyed that before, being able to zoom in and get a closer look. Then on November 24th, 1835, the Texas provincial government authorizes a horse-mounted police force called the Texas Rangers. Of the most popular, I believe, you would know is, well, Walker. Texas Ranger. Anyway, okay. In 1874, Joseph Glidden received a U.S. patent for barbed wire, a product that transformed the American West. Before this, settlers on the plains had no easy way to fence livestock and prevent herds from roaming away. In 1903, Clyde J. Coleman of New York City received a patent for an automobile electric self-starter. It was eventually modified and was first installed on Cadillacs in 1912. Yep, an electric starter. No having to get out and do that little hand crank thing. You ain't got to pop the clutch either. It made it a little easier. All right, moving on this day in history, November 25th, in 1715, American Sibylla Masters is granted the first English patent for processing corn. I love some corn. How about some skillet corn, some cream corn, some whole kernel corn, some corn on the cob with butter and salt. How about some street corn? Oh, that stuff's good too. On this day in 1792, the first Farmer's Almanac was published in the U.S. Yeah, my granddad. He relied on that thing for years and years when he was planting his gardens. On this day in 1867, dynamite was patented in the U.S. by Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel. You're like, hold on, Nobel. Yeah, you know that last name. Extremely concerned about the potential harmful uses of his invention, he eventually created the Nobel Prize to promote advances toward peace. So he sees that he may have put something into the world that could cause a lot of damage. So he wanted to make up for it by promoting peace. It's kind of a cool idea. On this day in 1884, the U.S. patent for evaporated milk was granted to John B. Meyenberg of St. Louis, Missouri. That's right, evaporated milk. Delicious. On this day, all the way back in 1922, English archaeologist Howard Carter opens the first of two doorways to the tomb of King Tut. On this day in 1940, the American cartoon character Woody Woodpecker debuts in Walter Lance's Knock Knock. And on this day in 1948, Ed Parsons, who ran a radio station in Astoria, Oregon, invented cable television. He detected a usable signal from a TV station 150 miles away and ran a cable from an antenna on the hotel where he lived to his living room. Then he put a TV set in a store window and brought the signal to it with coaxial cable, the first recorded use of coaxial to carry TV. So there you go. That's this day in history with another special mention. Amy Grant, she was born in 1960. I can't do the math that quick. So today is Amy Grant's birthday. Now, my favorite part. I get to close the book and remind you of a simple truth. So here we go. You see in my hand, I hold this book. It's full of facts and figures and many smiling faces, people who've made an impact on this world. Now, could you imagine your history being written in a book like this? Immortalized for everybody to read about you and what you did. Well, what a legacy to leave, right? But you know what? Your history might not be written in a book like this, and that's okay too, because I'll tell you this, where your history is definitely being written, whether it makes its way to this book or not, is on the hearts and in the minds of all the people around you, how you interact with them, how you make them feel. So I wonder if maybe you could take a challenge I like to take every day. It's simply this, that we make good history today, that when people think of us, well, they get a smile on their face, or a little extra warmth in their heart. Yeah, let's leave that kind of legacy. Let's make that kind of history. You up for it? I know you are. Thanks for hanging out with me right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now, how about some Brandon Lake with Count 'Em right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Well, I do believe it's going to be a good day. And you know what? I think maybe there's a little girl out there who wants to hear that song. I think she's listening right now. So, Nova Claire, this one's for you from Forrest Frank. It's Good Day.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say.
Everybody seems so preoccupied with numbers, don't they? I mean, numbers are huge, I know, but sometimes numbers aren't all that matters, right? Yeah, well, bring to mind this idea. Statistics Okay, there are people in the sports world who get paid to keep up with all the stats, all the numbers, all the percentages, all of that, to keep up with these different career athletes and make sure that they have a grasp on, just how well they're doing. So they can decide, well, maybe this team needs this player and maybe they don't need this player anymore. I know, right? Those numbers can have a direct effect on your personal life. Ooh. And Brian Trent sees that. If you don't know who Brian is, well, he is a pastor at Lighthouse Church in Hampton, South Carolina. He and his family are all across the socials under the handle Trent Tribe. You can find him for yourself if you'd like, but he's got a little something to say about those stats, about those numbers, and I think you need to hear it. So see what you think about this.
You know, God is a God of promises, not a God that's concerned about what the statistics say. Somebody needs to hear this. Because of what you've experienced in life, the statistics are not in your favor. Well, take me. I grew up in a divorced home. Now, because of their fiery past, my father would have to pick me up on Sunday mornings for his visitation at the sheriff's office. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool at the time, but then later in life, I figured out something was up. But let me tell you what the stats said. Stats said I was more likely to use drugs. The stats said I was 4 times more likely to have trouble fitting in. The stats said I was 3 times more likely to have mental health issues. The stats said I was more likely to be in prison because 3 out of every 4 inmates come from a broken home. No doubt the stats were against me, but I don't believe God was. So maybe the stats are against you today. Well, can I encourage you? You may not see it, but your imperfect circumstances make you a perfect candidate for God to do a great work in you and through you. Don't let what the world says about you be your destiny. But you know, when I was growing up, a friend of mine's dad became the dad of everybody in the neighborhood. Later on in life, I found out that he had been an orphan and had been passed around all of his childhood. The stats were not in his favor, but God was. And when he was a young adult, he gave his broken story to a loving God. And God took a young man with no father and made him a father to many. God is bigger than those stats. So let him have every part of you, good and bad. And I believe God is about to blow the doors off in your life. So you better hang on. And just in case you hadn't been told today, I love you.
Oh, that's good stuff. Again, that's Brian Trent. You can find him all across the socials. Just type in Trent Tribe. That's Trent Tribe. And I don't know, maybe you'll want to follow him for yourself. I've been doing that for over a year now. I'm so glad that I have, because every day is something new. It's brand new content. And sometimes it's those light bulb moments that happen. It's like I've never thought of it in that way before. So I hope that spoke to you, especially about those numbers, about those stats. Wow. God is the God of promises. I love that. Hey, if you know somebody who needs to hear that, I wonder if maybe you'll share it with them. After the show today at 10:30 on Spotify, you can find today's podcast episode at the top of the list. All you have to do is go to Spotify, type in Lifeline Morning Show Podcast. It'll be there at the top of the list at 10:30 this morning, or even on Apple Podcasts. You can do the same thing. Go over to Apple Podcasts, type in Lifeline Morning Show Podcast at 10:30 this morning. You can find this podcast episode. Grab that link and share it with that friend that needs to hear that. And I hope that you are getting something out of the content that I bring here to the show. And if you would, help me. Let's share it with as many people as possible, because we are here to help make your day better. And the more people we can reach, the better. So thank you for helping us with that. All right, more great music headed your way. Stephen Curtis Chapman, Don't Lose Heart, right here, right now, on the Lifeline Morning Show. Thanks so much for doing life with me on this Monday morning before Thanksgiving.
Another sleepless night, praying hope comes with the morning light. And right now you're feeling like you've lost this fight, and fear is screaming out your name.
You know, we've been doing a little something here for the past few days, and I think I want to continue this on. Barbara Eubanks is a local author who has this book called Humorous Happenings in Holy Places, 101 Anecdotes and Devotionals. And I was recently gifted this book, and I wanted to read a little bit of it to you, if that's okay. Now, throughout here, she's got some amazing stories. Right now, I want to read you number 12. It says, no toys in heaven? Probably one of the most pondered questions is, what will heaven be like? And children who grow up in church hear about heaven all their lives, but sometimes manage to get an off-center view of what it will be like. My youngest grandson, Austin, was spending some time with us one summer. He had a young friend visiting with him one day, and as we were driving home, I heard their discussion about heaven. Austin said, heaven will be boring. There won't be any toys there. His friend echoed that sentiment, and I inserted, why do you guys think heaven will be boring? Austin answered, "Oh, there'll just be adult stuff to do there." "What kind of stuff?" I questioned. "You know, writing papers and talking on the phone and stuff like that." Feeling it necessary to dissuade him from a dread of heaven, I borrowed a philosophy that a dear pastor friend had used with his son. I told Austin, "If it takes toys in heaven for you to be happy there, then there will be toys." This is my true belief. Whatever it takes for us to experience ultimate bliss in heaven, God will provide. I just believe we'll live in such a superior realm to what we live in now that we can't comprehend the joys that God has in store for us. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has blessed us in the heavenly realms with every spiritual blessing in Christ. That's Ephesians 1:3. And she suggests reading 2 Peter 3:11-18, and pray that your faith will be strengthened to truly believe that God will take care of you, both in this world and the next, and that any fear or dread of death will be removed from your mind. That's a good one right there. Toys in heaven. Again, that's from Barbara Eubanks. Humorous happenings in holy places. That's good stuff. All right, let's hit some music. I've got Colton Dixon with Up and Up right here, right now on the Lifeline Morning Show.
Even though I walk through the valley, sometimes it feels like a crawl through the valley, but I got a promise that I hold on tight to. I can't lose when I'm right beside you, yeah.
Well, the time has come for me to bid you adieu, but before I do, I'd like to share with you an inspiring quote. In fact, some might say it's the most inspiring quote of the day, as we are focused today on, well, the journey and the lessons learned and where we are right now and what's coming up in the future. Yeah, that's the theme today, reflecting on the journey so far. Here is your inspiring quote of the day. Look back in gratitude, look forward in hope, and look around in awareness. Wow, you know what? We have to see the value in all of it. In the past, because look how far we've come. Look what God has brought us through. In the, forward or the future, because we know He's taken us to some great heights. And in the moment, because that's where we currently live. We are in the present, trying to reach that destination, that big, bright future. But it's right now, the journey. We need to stay aware. And we need to make some changes where they need to be made. We need to take a look and survey and see what's happening with our choices thus far. Are they getting us where we need to go? Can we make some modifications to get us there a little better? Can we partner with the Holy Spirit better to reach that destination more fully, maybe even more quickly, or even with a better attitude? Ooh, that's a big one. So keep all that in mind as you mull over that inspiring quote of the day, and have the best day ever. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. I can't wait. Now, as far as today's show, make sure that you go over to the podcast and share it with a friend at 10:30 this morning, okay? I greatly appreciate it. All right, I'll see you right back here tomorrow.